Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis of gold and silver, see what's going on, see what the dollar's doing, the 10-year, look at some different time scale charts here, give you a big picture, get a close-up picture, go back and show you what I saw on the charts of why I thought this was going to be a bottom, and I think we're putting in a bottom here. We're heading higher. Everything's looking really good. So hopefully I'm not jinxing it or anything like that. Again, this is just my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. But let's dive into the charts. I'll show you what I'm seeing in gold and silver. Here we go. So I'm going to start with the dollar and gold. And what's awesome about this is that gold is moving on higher in the face of a strengthening dollar. We've had 2 days back to back, yesterday and today, go up in the face of a strengthening dollar. So we're at 95.18 on the dollar. We're up 16 bucks on gold. 18.65. That's a very good price. I think we could see a pretty good run in gold. Nice strong uptrend. Now this is the dollar. We have this uptrend line that was broken to the downside. We're coming up on the dollar, and we're potentially going to put in a retest of this breakout, potentially. We could hit 97, 98 on the index before heading lower. Maybe. Maybe. That's a huge maybe. I'm just speculating here, and I wouldn't put money on it, but we could. Now, looking at the 10-year yield, we blew out to the downside for that event. We came back up, pierced ahead of it, broke back down, and then we came back up, and we're right there at that support line. We're right above it. Zooming in a little bit on the right-hand side over here, that's what it looks like. We broke through this short-term downtrend line, came back to do the back test, and leaped off of it yesterday. And today they were probably containing. They probably had yield curve control team in there. Can we get the yield team control over here, please? See? I told you they had that. So here's gold. Good job, gold. And I wanted to show you guys something. And it's not super clear in this chart. I mean, it is some. I'm gonna back out here, go into here. And what I am going to show here is these big down days. This guy, this is a bearish engulfing here. It engulfs the one before it. Big down day there. We have a bullish engulfing there, coming on up, and we've got these big sell-offs again. And then we got big sell-off days, these big selling pressure days. See all this? Now, in the green, I'm going to circle the big up days. Big up day. Big up day. Here was a little bit of a sell-off, but we came back and rallied. That was the day that the buyers decided to really, and then we got all this. Here are the up days here. Small little guys, right? I mean, a little bit of volume there. Small little up days all through here. See these little up days? See how they're all smaller than the ones before it? I mean, this started getting a little bit of momentum there. Got totally blown out there. See the difference in the charts here? Yeah, I admit it, I circled everywhere. The up days on this side over here are smaller than the big down selling pressure days. Big hits, boom, boom, boom. It's just struggling to come back up, boom, boom, boom. Now we've reversed that. Big up days, small down days, still intact. And it looks really good to hopefully go on higher, hopefully. Hopefully we're out of this congestion zone and we start moving. But that's something I wanted to touch on. Looks good. Silver, over 25. Why is that important? We had some resistance stickiness through here, but we broke through that today. We finished strong. It's looking really good. I think we're real close to a big move ahead of us. If it can keep this momentum, we are going to be rock stars, guys. And platinum, my boy platinum, finishing strong today, coming through this sticky resistance area through here. Closing strong, looking good. Way to go, Platty. Copper, my boy Copper, little copy. Downtrend line, break to the upside, coming down, bullish engulfing. This thing's probably going to end up resolving itself higher. Looks good. Everything's intact. Everything looks good to move on up. We needed this bullish engulfing day to say, hey, look, buyers are here. What you should be doing by looking at this copper chart, platinum chart, silver chart, you should be looking at companies and saying, which companies am I interested in? These look very compelling. These charts look good. Now, looking at GDX from a little bit longer term perspective, a low, a higher low, and here comes our higher low, higher highs. This is an uptrend, guys. It's still in an uptrend. It broke the downtrend line, came back to do a retest, just took a long time to do it. Now we're moving back up. Looks good. Same with GDXJ, nothing really too much to say above and beyond that. We've got an uptrend moving to the upside. SILJ, what am I looking for here? Low, higher low, higher low. What does that mean? It means we've got lows that are coming up into a resistance line at about $17.75, $18. You break $17.75, $18, we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun with the price here. We just got to come right up at it and hit it. Lead in, cup, handle pattern. Let's get this thing going. SILJ looking good on the short term. Nice, good, strong move. Let's keep it moving. EXK is looking good so far. Let's hopefully it can continue. Looking at a big picture view for First Majestic Silver. This thing looks fantastic, guys. And I always say this, all right? We break this pattern. We have higher lows coming up. We broke through the trend line, the downward trend line to the upside, came back and did a retest. Now, it's game on. It's time to move higher. We kissed that line goodbye. We're never coming back here, guys. We're not going to be coming back. At least I hope not. Mag Silver, big picture view. Here's your line. Bounced off of it, coming on up. Looks good. Discovery Silver moving on higher. Everything's intact. We've got Aftermath Silver. And sometimes when you look at these patterns, you get a pattern here. It comes down. It kind of goes into no man, into a wasteland, so to speak. It breaks out of the pattern. It usually comes back. And then we get a surge higher. See a big old move coming on up. So Aftermath looks good. EMX Royalty putting in the cup and handle. The cup and then the handle that we're putting in right now. That looks good. Franco, Nevada, well, that just goes up, I guess. It just keeps continuing to go on higher. We break through this area up here. We could see a big breakout. We'll get above 150-ish, 150-something, low 150s. Looks good. Wheaton Precious Metals, cup and handle. Looks like a handle's putting in. Wells Fargo, I put this in for a mutual fund. I own it. Coming through here, kind of resistance support, broke through it, came back, bounced off it a couple times, and hopefully we end up and resolve in an uptrend out of this. Switching gears to copper. Copper looked good, so I had to throw some copper companies in here. Broke out, came in, back tested. Southern Copper looks good right here if you want a high dividend, larger company. Another one, downtrend is broken. Glencore looks really yummy right here. Very good looking company. We're going to have to break through these highs here and get through it. We could even have a cup and handle pattern that develops. Freeport McMoran, another one, FCX, coming through this resistance area and support. We're trying to break through it. Nice. It's not a cup and handle because usually it's a lead in for continuation, but looking good. And this is the price of copper itself on a big long-term perspective. One thing I'm speculating here, yes, this circle here, where it pops up and consolidated for a little bit, is very similar to this thing popping up to its all-time high and consolidating here. It's almost as if this pattern is the same as this pattern if you were to draw it across where this line is. It's right at that support resistance area of going into new highs. I think we're going to break to new highs here shortly. What we would have, lead in, cup, and handle pattern that would develop. We break it, and we're off to the races. So that's what I have for today. Everything's looking pretty good for gold and silver. Way to go. Way to stick with it if you've been sticking with gold and silver. I never really had my doubts. I was a little disappointed that it was taking this long. I admit it. And I have a lot of money riding on the gold and silver train. I've got a lot on uranium and all these energy ones too. So I've been patiently accumulating in my favorite companies this whole entire time. So it's looking good. Copper's looking good. All of the precious metals look good. I bought more physical metal yesterday or 2 days ago. Yeah, I'll show you when it comes in. Got another ounce of platinum. Just keep buying it because it's right there. I bought a bar, and I'm trying to beef up the physical holdings in platinum, just because it needs a little more stack in there. If you guys like this analysis, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.